Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Henry Finn, aka Star Lordy, the CEO of OnlyForce.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Juju Smith-Schuster, only Force Ambassador, anime gaming enthusiast, and professional football athlete.
You're tuned in to the Edge of NFT, your choice for the best Web3 news and content for professionals and enthusiasts alike.
Keep listening.
Hey, Web3 curious listeners, stay tuned for today's episode to learn what inspired a top NFL athlete to extend his passion for gaming and anime into a collaboration with OnlyForce.
And how our guest's combination of spontaneity and creativity might lead to an epic snowball fight or a trip to Japan.
Finally, why Naruto might be the best anime of all time.
Welcome to the Edge of NFT, the podcast that brings you the top 1% of Web3 today and what will stand the test of time. We explore the nuts and bolts of the business side and also the human element of how Web3 is changing the way we interact with the things we love. This podcast is for the dreamers, disruptors, and doers who are pumped about this ecosystem and driving where it goes next.
Welcome to the Edge of NFT, the podcast created by Jeff Kelly, Ethan Jenny, and Josh Kriger, featuring a variety of top-notch guests and other hosts like myself, Richard Carthon.
It's another production of Edge of Company, a quickly growing media ecosystem empowering the pioneers of Web3 tech and culture and responsible for other groundbreaking endeavors like Outer Edge LA Innovation Festival.
Today's episode features Henry Finn, aka Star Lordy, who's the CEO steering OnlyForce, a billion-dollar brand revolutionizing NFT ownership, with a prolific 15-year career in commercial film and TV production, plus a collaboration with industry giants like Nike, Samsung, and Google. OnlyForce pioneers cross-platform integration, envisioning a limitless digital social network.
And Juju Smith-Schuster, an NFL Superbowl champion, transcending the boundaries of sports and entertainment. As an avid anime and gaming enthusiast, he serves as an official ambassador for Crunchyroll and founded Team Diverge, the world's first athlete-led gaming entertainment and lifestyle company. With a dual legacy as an American football star and pro gamer, Juju's unique blend of and passion for sports, anime, and gaming even made him one of the Oni Kite. OnlyForce stands at the forefront of Web3, pioneering the first anime and sideways PFP project. The billion-dollar brand envisions a future where NFT ownership transcends boundaries through cross-platform integration. We have a great show today for our listeners. Let's get started. What's going on, guys?
What's up? What's up? Thanks for having us, man. This is really cool.
Yeah, it's so exciting. I've been looking forward to this all weekend, man. Having a legend like yourself on the show, and before we get into what the topic at hand is, I gotta say I've been a huge fan of your work on the field and a diehard Pats fan through thick and thin. Started watching those guys at 6 with my dad before the Brady era, so I've seen it all.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, man. I would tell you this. I mean, since my time being here, obviously playing against, Bill Belichick, and it's funny. I've never won against him being on an opposing team, but since being here, man, the Patriots fan, you guys had it very, very good for the past like 20 years. Like so many championships, so many wins, and it's really cool to be a part of a great organization. But I think the more and more Pats fans, there's a lot more Pats fans out there than any other team, to be honest.
I think, we needed that first big win, right? And then we were chill because we've been waiting that for decades. And now we can live with the highs and lows a little bit more,
Yes. You guys Pat fans have to get used to that. You guys are used to being on the high the whole time because you're always winning.
Absolutely. Well, wanted to sort of start by just catching up. Before the holidays hit, we had a chance. I had a chance to join the OnlyForce Fortnite community event, Web3 Strikes Back. That was super dope. Sponsored by Shrapnel, and with you also sort of out there, doing your thing, and even saw Tom Bilyeu, Impact Theory, showed up. That was cool to see him, and a lot of great people on Discord. But I had to cut out because eventually my girlfriend was ready to do some holiday stuff together. So I am curious, how did the kids tournament work out?
Oh, that was amazing, man. Honestly, it was something that was definitely new to the community. That's definitely different, and it's really cool with Only Force and Command Line putting that together, and for me to be a part of it, and actually to for the kids. And it's funny because a lot of those kids I was playing with are their dads obviously work for Oni, or a part of the community, which is really cool, and it's more interactive. I mean, to create your own map and to drop in and to just play with your sign and logo on like the building, the side of the building, like people can see it. It was really cool, but it was a fun experience for the kids.
That's great. Yeah, great job, Henry, with putting that together, and really enjoyed all the different visuals with the Oni Force sort of Fortnite skin. Like I could tell you guys were paying attention to the finer details and making something fun and unique.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Definitely.
Awesome. Well, I want to get it kicked off just leaning into your opportunity with being a Crunchyroll ambassador, Juju. I know that you are an avid gamer. You joined forces with Only Force, and it seemed like a natural step to be part of Crunchyroll. So, like, what parts and elements of Only Force approach resonated with you and your passion for anime and gaming?
I mean, it kind of just makes sense, right? You talk about Only Force, you talk about the original anime NFT known for storytelling, high quality, artwork. So, I mean, you put that one into another where, you look at me, I'm a very creative guy. I love putting myself out there. I'm very passionate at what I do. And then it just kind of just goes back into, their community of, that cross selection of, gaming and anime. As you guys can see there's football right here. There's anime right there, and I have a full gaming setup in a whole different room. So like my passion just goes far beyond it. And when I met Henry, it was just kind of like the missing puzzle to another part of my career outside of just football itself, outside of just being in a helmet and with that Patriot logo on my helmet. But it's more so like, dude, it's crazy how many kids and how many people I can reach to, and not even just kids, but all different ages of people who love, anime, who love gaming, and you just put it into this one where, Only Force does NFT too, and it just all helps out, contributing to, the direction I'm going to.
Yeah, I also imagine there's a lot of kids that like both gaming and sports, and there's not a lot of like folks for them to look up to that to sort of embrace both paths, right? And
Yeah,
I think
yes.
there's a lot of creativity and competition in both sides of it, and it's an opportunity for people to see that, like, if they feel that way about what they're passionate about, they're not alone.
Yes, and that's the best part. Like I was just telling Henry, like I have a platform where I can tell my story, through gaming, through anime, through sports, and all those kids when we were playing on that map, it kind of just it was just all the mixture of everything just in one, and it was a really cool experience.
Definitely. There's one other thing I kind of want you to kind of dive into a little bit more because Team Diverge is generating a lot of excitement, and you're really trying to get into the esports space as well. Can you kind of give us a little bit of a sneak peek into what fans can expect with this clash between gaming and Web3, and how this all will blend together?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny, man. So I started Team Diverge a couple years back. Um, as you guys can see, I love gaming. So I started my own org because I wanted to be, the forefront of, athletes can actually do this and actually could lead, a gaming team and create a nice team. And I took that with Team Diversion, and we've won, countless tournaments, so many different awards. Recently just won the Call of Duty Warzone event out in London, which is really cool. But to transition that into Web3, we're slowly moving into that space because Web2 and Web3, we want to be able to, put them together and, keep them moving forward as far as like that is the future, for us. Another really cool thing that we're doing too that, we kind of stole this from Only Force, man. After we saw what they did with their event, we're kind of going back, working with the same team command line to create our own little map. And when we drop that, obviously that's going to be a huge thing for us too. But just trying to keep all that together in line moving forward.
Very cool. Very cool. And I guess you're one of the key folks on Onikai, which is you know, the roster of great collaborators like Steve Aoki, Gary Vee, Bobby Kim, a lot more. How does that feel? And what are the reactions you hope to evoke from your fans and the broader audience through the collaboration with OnlyForce?
Dude, it's an unreal roster. I mean, when I saw the roster, I was like, it felt like I was honored to be, associated with these guys. And you guys, I mean, one of the biggest guy on is Adesanya, like Israel Adesanya. Like he is like the version of me, but in what his job in MMA, and it's really cool because he not only that he puts it out there, but he posts it, he shows it his fan base, and I think that's what attracts me and a lot of other people, to like guys like him. But everyone on our roster, man, is unreal. I mean, for all my fans and the collaboration and show, it's a new way for us to build an IP, and it's being able to take the Web 2 and the Web 3 of this generation, and just like I said, mesh it together and show them. And it's really cool because not only that, my fan base from the sports world of football, they interact with like Steve Aoki's fans, and then Adesanya. But a lot of times, like I didn't know Steve Aoki was who was into anime until OnlyForce had posted about it. I was like, wow, like that's really cool. So it's the collaboration is unreal, and with the technology and everything, with comics, watching anime, and being able to tell your story through all that, it just kind of like coincides with everything I'm doing, and a lot of fans will be able to do that. So yeah.
That's great. Yeah. And I appreciate the authenticity behind it all, because the last few years have been wild when it came to celebrities jumping into the space and sort of, I'm into this, I'm into that, but they have no history with the product, right? They don't understand what they're even talking about. And a lot of folks got taken for a ride. And now, I think at this point, what OnlyForce has done, and Henry came on the show and talked about this when he took the reins, like it's resetting the field for a long-term vision, like similar to a sports team. You have your building years, and you have your epic achievement years, and it takes time to build, right?
And that's the cool part. And with OnlyCon, like I said, just kind of like you read comics, right? You watch anime, and then you go out there and you kind of like just build your story. And for them, they can create everything all in one, which is nice. And I'm telling you, the storytelling is unreal. Like I'm working on my own stuff, and I can't say a whole lot, but it's a fun process. It's a fun process.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And I know we're going to get ready to kick into this a little bit, and to talk about that a little bit more, I want to bring up Henry. And I first want to shout out that for those who have been listening to the podcast for a while, knows that Henry's been on the show several times, debuting first on episode 60, and then last year on episode 267 when he participated with us on Outer Edge. Henry, welcome back. And I want to kick off with a question around the success of Web3 Strikes Back, which occurred a couple of weeks ago. How did you foresee this gaming endeavor amplifying OnlyForce's presence and engaging with a wider audience in the gaming community?
Word. Yeah, first of all, thank you for having me on. It's an honor to be back. I can't believe it went from 60 to over 200 in such a short time. You guys been turning it out, so kudos to you. I mean, the Web3 Strikes Back event was really special because it was really like a way to show the space, like that we have a vision for what storytelling is. And a lot of times when people talk about storytelling, they think mostly about like, books or movies or comic books, and games. Some games have great stories. Not all games are thought of as storytelling games, but what we realize is at the end of the day, um, what we built is a way for us to get our IP out and then put the story into the map, as Easter eggs and things, and then give people a chance to experience, um, uh, you know, Fortnite in a different way, because it's like they're seeing characters on the wall, right? And then later those characters are going to appear on social media. They're going to appear in comic books. They're going to appear in other formats. So then when kids are interacting with it, then they're going to have opportunities to kind of bridge the gap between those different mediums. And so that's why gaming is really important. Bringing someone like Juju on was really important for this event because, he has a really huge audience. But to be honest, there's a lot of people with big audiences. For us, he's not only has an audience, and by the way, is a great person. Like I just have to say, like we always like go off of vibes, and he's been just an amazing collaborator and human being. And that's kind of step one, actually, to be honest. But also his passion and love for anime and gaming and storytelling. Like when you talk about anime with him, it's like he'll go in on it. Like he's watched more anime than I have, you know what I mean? And so like it's just great. And so like he's the kind of person where he made our event successful because, first of all, he showed the space. It's like, hey, we have like a really legit, NFL superstar and a gaming superstar coming to play with us. It's like really cool. And then being able to play with like the kids, that's even cooler. Like that was the part I was most looking forward to is that part. And so he helps amplify the message. But at the end of the day, the message is the same message that we're pushing out while we're working together. It's about the art, the storytelling, the anime focus on things. So yeah, I mean, it was just a great event overall.
That's dope, man. Let's dive into the sort of art a little bit more in the world that you've created in Fortnite. I was one of the early mentors, as you know, of Oni4, still holding, and there's a lot of attributes to these players, right, or to these characters, and it seemed when it first came out that they were naturally tied into some sort of gamification opportunity and story. How are you? Can you give us a little bit of alpha on how you plan to sort of create a seamless and immersive experience with players and collectors alike? Like, not everyone that collects Oni is gonna sort of play Fortnite, right? But clearly there's an opportunity for everyone to sort of grow the community together. So I'm curious what you have in store there.
Yeah. Well, first of all, also I want to say, Josh, kudos to you because you joined the event with using. I think you were using Amazon Luna, which was like
Yeah. All right. I was
groundbreaking.
struggling.
I was like, no, I respected that. I was like, man, this guy definitely is like, nothing's gonna stop him from participating in this event, and it was really impressive. So,
But my girlfriend was so upset because I sucked all the juice out of the internet, and like the whole house went cold, except for like I was like, look, I'm playing. Like I gotta get on here. Like don't worry about it.
no, I was happy because I wasn't sure if Amazon Luna could actually run it. So I was curious if anybody would try. So when I heard you were on that, I was like, oh, let's go. But to answer your question, I mean, what we've done is we've implemented like a point system, which is really a reward system that ties in like leveling up like a video game point system, but tying rewards on the back end, right? So really, it's a platform where it allows participants, even if you don't play Fortnite, you could still support the event. You could participate somehow, do missions and stuff, level up. Those points give you rewards. Then we bring sponsors who basically give the prizes and rewards to the community. So it really incentivizes people to participate, and that's how we really unite everyone. So even if you're not on the map playing, even if you do like a tweet about the map, or the fact that there's an event, you could still earn points. Again, those points lead to rewards. I think the next generation or the next evolution to gaming is really like, how do you connect people together more and give them incentives? Because at the end of the day, it's the people who show up that give the value, right? Like Twitch wouldn't be worth any money if people weren't showing up creating content, if people like Juju weren't showing up, streaming on it, that sort of stuff. Like people bring value, whether it's big or small. And I think the old model of Web2, whether it's Facebook or YouTube or Google, it's like they kind of extract a lot of value from their communities, and they give like not enough back, in my opinion. I think you can go much further
Do you
and
think
incentivize
Twitch
people.
is? Do you think Twitch is going a different direction or moving in the right direction?
I mean, I know they got a lot of complaints. I think they're from what I think Juju probably has better idea too, but from what I observed, they were very gaming focused in the beginning. I think they tried to move away from it a little bit and become like a everything platform. And then I don't think they innovated for gamers, right? Like they didn't keep elevating the product to be like, oh, how can we make this better for gamers? And so I think there needs to be a platform for gamers where it's like everything is really focused on that. So I'm not sure, to be honest, with Twitch. I think Kick is coming up too, and they're spending a lot of money, to get people on their platform. But when I look at both of them, they're kind of the same platform, and I just think like they're
Yeah.
not really like going to that next level, which Web3 could provide. But I'm curious what Juju thinks on that.
Yeah. I mean, just to piggyback off what you're saying, so I stream on Twitch, and it used to be just gaming. Now it's a little bit of everything. It's a little bit now it's a lot of like they're catering to what more of what they bring in. I feel like, and like you said, like Kick is coming down to the scene, and they're spending a lot of money at the same time. I also feel like it's what we're trying to do is make it more for the people. Like without the people, none of this is possible. None of this can none of Twitch, none of Kick. It's all the people who's making it run. So more so for the players versus for the company. I totally understand. I get it if it's a business decision, but like you said, like, what brings people together is the people in the community. And with that being said, like I just feel like that's kind of the direction I feel like they should go in. We're like people like me, who has a huge platform and streaming on Twitch and using those platforms. So yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you're hitting on sort of a key theme for 2024 that I keep hearing about, which is decentralized social. I think it's coming. There's going to be a lot more ways that folks can take their audiences with them and do things, engage their audiences outside of like the constraints of platforms. So, and that's one thing that blockchain enables. So it's going to be exciting. So appreciate everyone's context there. Juju, just to turn the conversation towards what we were talking about before, creativity, collaboration. I'm really curious about your creative process when you're building this new anime IP with OnlyForce. I don't have the same history with anime, though. I have been to Japan and Tokyo and really appreciate some of the culture behind it. I am curious though, like as you're going about this collaboration, what's your creative process? How are you shaping the narrative? What's going through your mind based on sort of, the sort of sticking to the tradition of anime, but also trying to create something new?
Yeah. Before we get into that, you went to Japan, dude. How was Japan? Did you love it?
I've been twice. It's one of my favorite countries for sure. Kyoto,
Bro, it's the best.
everywhere. Yeah.
So I just went recently. So after the Super Bowl, like a week later, I went to Japan and I went for like a week and a half.
Nice.
And that was like my first experience of like being out far, west that way. And I tell you, Richard, like Henry, you've been right? No?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I forgot you have it. Richard, if you ever get a chance, bro, like that place, it's the
It's
cleanest
on my
place.
to-do list. Yeah.
Yes, it's one of the cleanest place and the nicest people.
Okay.
Like quick story, I left my phone in a taxi. An hour later, the guy brings it back to like where I was at, and, like drops it off, hands it to me.
Yeah.
Anywhere else, that for sure is not happening.
That happened to me in Dubai this year, where I left my phone in the taxi, and 5 minutes later he's there, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like I'm not in America, but yeah, I mean in Kyoto, for example, you rent bikes. They don't actually give you bike locks. You can just leave your bike anywhere in the entire city, and no one will ever take it. Like I've heard stories like a wallet will just stay on the ground for like a few days because people are just so they appreciate property rights. It's in their DNA, right?
Wow.
The respect for other people's possessions and they're so into sustainability. I mean, the food's amazing too.
Don't even get me started with the food, man.
Dude, I spent so much money the first time I went this year because I saw all the stores with all the anime merch and figurines and stuff. Like basically in Japan is like anything you could want to spend money on, they got like the best version of it. Electronics, like toys, games, like
Fruit, like you
clothes.
buy like $100 apple there that it's like the best apple
Yes.
you've ever had.
Dude, it's lit.
It's unreal. But no, Josh, going back to your question, man. Yeah, I'm very creative, man. I feel like even in social media, like myself, being a very creative guy, being able to just put my personality out there. It's hard for us when we wear a helmet. So when you're talking about anime and being creative, I watch so much anime. I know the type of guy I am. I know the type of personality, what kind of traits I want to use. And I think the different part between me and everyone else is that I'm kind of like the forefront. I'm the face. I'm actually the one, putting myself out there and creating this, the characteristics of the actual character, the storyline, the foundation, what hooks the audience as soon as you watch the first episode. So and it's really cool, working with Henry and Only Kai and being able to do, everything with Only Force. You guys know Paul Jenkins, like he did the Wolverines, and talking to him and just putting everything of myself, my history, my family, my personality on a paper and seeing how it comes alive is the fun part. And it's a cool part of the process because it's so creative. And then also my fan base gets a more personal view of who I am as a person, and putting this as an anime character and creating this, with Only Force, to put it out there. It's really cool. I can't talk too much, into depth about it, but I would just say like the cool part about it is that, with my history and my past, you'll see a lot of that, into this, the comics and into this. So I'm super excited.
Are you gonna have your own cameo as an anime character? Is that can you share that?
Yeah. I'll say that it's definitely something that I've wanted to be, and definitely
Yeah.
the main character of
We
something.
definitely can't reveal too much, but I could say it's definitely a character and a universe that's inspired by Juju. Like uh, his history, his what motivates him. When we were getting in these initial creative sessions, it's like first we just wanted to really understand who he is, and I think what I'm most excited about is a lot of celebrities when they do certain projects, like sometimes they could be tied a little too closely to like maybe like what they're known for or something. And while Juju obviously is known for football, he's known for multiple things. He's known for football, for anime, for gaming, and like, he's much more than that, even more than just those things. But for him, it's like because he actually knows anime and loves anime, it's like it's just been great because he's so focused on making an anime that any kid would want to watch, that if anybody saw it, even if they didn't know who he was, they would still love it. And I think that kind of purity to the form, to anime itself, is what's going to really shine, because it's not going to be like the thing I can say is not going to be some anime character in a football uniform,
Yeah, it's
like
not football related. I can't.
you know
Good
That's
call.
too obvious. That was too
yeah,
obvious.
it's too obvious. So I think, when we first started talking with Juju, that was one of the first things he said to me. And I was like, that's great. I was relieved because for us, we also come from a very authentic standpoint. And it's like, we're not just going to make something fluff or just to like, piggyback off of his career or something like that. It was like, we're building a whole new universe, which is like a whole new future for Juju, I think, in terms of reaching global audiences. Because in Asia and stuff, it's not like they're watching American football. So even if he's like an NFL superstar, it's not going to have the same reach as if he has an anime character that everybody just loves because it's a cool, dope ass character. So
Right. And actually, I
very.
want to stay there just for a second, Henry. So Only Force is
Mhm.
doing a lot of really awesome collaborations, and obviously the one you have with Juju is amazing. One of the other most recent collaborations that you recently did was with Tia Interactive. Uh, you had to create
Oh
a
yeah.
map, which was extremely hard, and had to get it like detailed for Only Force to get the lore and everything else. Can you kind of just talk about all the work that went into that and what people can expect with it?
Yeah, they're Thea slash Command Line. They're excellent partners. We referred them to Juju. He's working with them. I'm sure he could speak on his experience, but they come from a very high-end background. So I think like if you go into UEFN, you'll see like a lot of maps and stuff where it's like the gameplay is good, it might be fun, but then like the polish is not really there yet. But Thea and Command Line, they come from a background of doing like really high quality enterprise level work for big brands and governments and things like that. So their level of execution is just next level compared to most people. With OmniForce, we care about that a lot. We always have high expectations in terms of our quality. So that's number one. But number two, like they're all diehard gamers too. So like to be honest with the map, it was really their idea on how to format it, how to execute it, design it. We put in a lot of input on initially in terms of our world and the story, and they really came up with a concept that we loved, and so we just kind of let them run with it, and they crushed it. Like I think it's a really great partnership. They also are very well connected with Epic Games itself, so like having that type of relationship where it's like we can go to the next level with them is also really important to us. So there's a lot of benefits to working with them. And it's been cool seeing what they've been working on with Juju. I've been getting glimpses of it, and I feel like um, Juju knows gaming even better than we do. So I feel like he has an advantage
Yeah.
on on what he's building and his maps. So yeah, what about you though?
Yeah. So with it's actually funny you say that, bro. Like Command Line Thea, they've been nothing but love. They're the version. I would say they are the version of like, all right, OmniForce is helping me build like my storytelling, anime. Then Command Line is like helping me build like my storytelling gaming side if I want to do that. And they've been nothing but awesome, man. They're really, really cool. Like you said, they are able to the artwork they're able to put up in the game, how they can change things here and there. Like Henry said, they're also gamers too, so they can relate to you, understand. Um, but yeah, I'm very, very creative. We're actually dropping out. We made 2 maps already. We're dropping a 3rd map, hopefully by the end of this month, and doing like a huge, huge event with some top athletes who play Fortnite, some creators in the industry. So they've been nothing but love, but super excited to see what we have coming there for the future.
That's so exciting, man. Like, for people that go and play Fortnite, the beautiful thing about it is there's always something new that you can go do and interact with, whether it's new skins, whether it's new maps, whether it's new opportunities to play with, your favorite athlete or just ways to connect. Because earlier you're talking about storytelling and connection. And there's a lot of exciting things that can happen in 2024. And first, I want to pose this over to Henry. What's the next stop for the Only Force comeback tour? Tours are long, can have a lot going on. Give us a little teaser of what we can expect next.
Definitely going more in on Fortnite. I mean, that's a big part of it. I think growing our IP and getting a bigger audience through Fortnite, especially with the ecosystem growing and they're going to allow you to do more and more. I'm looking forward to this year, like um like a partner like Juju walking into a comic book store with his family or something and being able to pick up his own comic book and like being able to share it with all the kids out there and start a whole new generation of storytelling and culture and stuff like that. So that's actually probably the big milestone for me. And then yeah, we're getting ready to do other drops, and we have surprises, certain um different partners that we're talking to that we're going to be announcing soon. But really, at the end of the day, like, I'm like Juju in the sense that I love anime, I love gaming. Like, I feel blessed. I feel like I wake up and, like I was catching up on Jujutsu Kaisen, and normally I might feel guilty like watching stuff when I'm busy, but I'm like, no, no, no. I have to know what's going on for the culture. You know what I mean? Like, I get paid to know what's going
Oh,
on.
absolutely.
That was dope, right? Juju? This season 2 was crazy.
Oh God, it's insane! It's insane. It's like I don't want to get too much into it. I don't want to be a spoiler, but it's crazy. And also for those that read manga, do not ruin it. People who read manga, they read so far ahead, they know what's going on before the anime show actually drops. So that's crazy. So yeah, and all my cousins they all read manga. So and that's like another thing. That's another way to actually, with the anime, like now you create mangas and now you got these comics and then you have the video games and then there's a lot into it. It's a lot into it.
Dope. And Juju, before we go to the next segment, which is gonna be a lot of fun with you, I also just wanted to ask you, like, as you look at the potential of Web3 gaming, what gets you excited? Moving forward, what are some of the things you'd like to do next in the space? What are some of the other projects or games that you're into outside of Fortnite and what you're doing with OniForce? Just sort of a broader picture on things.
I mean, with Web3 gaming, I think the cool part about it is that Web3 is also making major moves in the media world, also with the gaming. Also have hopes, just new audience. I think for me is I'm just now getting into that space, and with that Web3 audience is that building that up, not just for myself, but for my fan base, to see what I'm actually doing and getting them involved in that. And this is just one step towards major moves that's coming forward, and being able to to speak on Edge of NFT, like this is my first time speaking on a NFT podcast, which is really cool. So hopefully I can get more time than Henry on here because he's always on here. Eventually later down the line, I got 100 episodes later, I'll join again. But I think for me, like I said, I think the biggest thing is that being in this space and being a person who I am as an athlete on this platform. When it first started with Web3, when you said everyone was just hopping on with just NFTs and just hopping on here, just trying to put their face through the door. I think for myself, it's like things that I'm very interested in, things that I'm very passionate about, and I want to show my audience and my fans that hey, like this is a space that I'm getting into and moving forward.
That's really exciting, man. Yeah, and true story though, OniForce has had an appearance on the show 3 times, and I think we've done over 300 something episodes at this point, 325 or so.
Wow.
And Henry's been on twice. OniForce has been covered 3 times. I think that actually is the most of any project.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we don't keep track of those stats, but as I reflect on it, because I think
we're all about being the best, so we got to put our foot on the gas pedal and do some more episodes together.
But also too, I think also too it helps out with the consistency of hey, what's going on now? Like this is the third time you guys had OniForce song which we're covering. The second time you have Henry on. The first time you had me on. And it'll be really cool to see like, okay, like episodes later, let's check in with Juju and Henry, let's check in with OniForce, like what's going on now versus what just had what's happening now. So
I love that you're already sliding into our DMs and working on
I'm trying to answer my way now.
Let's go.
Don't worry about it. You're welcome back, my friend. It would be an honor to check in with you as this year progresses. I think it's going to be a really exciting year for Web3 and for gaming, and honored to have you in this space. And this has been great getting to know you. We're actually going to get to know you a little bit better now with one of our special, OG segments on the show called Edge Quick Hitters. So this segment is all about, a fun, quick way to get to know you a little better. There's going to be 10 questions, and we're looking for a short, single or few word response, but feel free to expand if you get the urge. And Henry, you've already played this game, so maybe we run through this Juju and
it's all Juju.
Go from there. You up for it, Juju?
I'm down. Let's go.
All right, Juju, what is the first thing you remember ever purchasing in your life?
It was a Hershey bar. I had like $2 and I got chocolate. It was like a Hershey bar when I was a kid. Oh man,
Nice.
it was Hershey bar almonds.
I hope you've upgraded your chocolate taste to some higher quality chocolate now at this point. You know,
What?
like
That's classic, dude. Hershey almonds? That never
Probably,
goes out of
probably
style.
recess. Probably recess.
yeah, I love Hershey bars too, but now I'm like into Hue chocolate and you know some of the like organic. I want my organic cacao beans and all that good stuff.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So you like dark chocolate too, huh?
Yeah, but chocolate's great, man.
Like,
Chocolate's like a superfood, you know. It's powerful
it
stuff.
is. It is.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan. What is the first thing you remember ever selling in your life?
Bro, it's so funny. So when I was a kid, I was at this. We had a house at an ice cream truck, and he gave me like a box of chocolate, and I was like, "All right, cool. Like, I'm not gonna eat all this chocolate." So I literally would go around my neighborhood and sell them for $1. And I even went back to that same ice cream truck and tried to sell him a bag of chocolate back to him for $1. He actually bought it, and it's so funny. But that's where I made money.
That's awesome. So you're not actually the first guest that's arbitraged, you know, candy. We had this one person, I don't remember who it was, that bought chocolate wholesale with their uncle and then sold it retail to their sister.
That's
Hustling.
cool though. That's in the house. That's in-house family too that he's doing that too.
Yeah, and funny enough, like my first sell when I did this way back when was also selling candy, selling chocolate. So I don't know,
Yeah,
man. It's something about getting after
somehow
that,
when you're a kid, it is something that like other kids would want those type of things, right?
right? Oh, most definitely, man. All right, so let's jump into this next one, which is what is the most recent thing you purchased?
The most recent thing I purchased, um, I would say like my outfits for game day. So like, so we have 18 games. So my outfits come every like I would say 9 weeks. So just recently, I had made a purchase for like the past like 9 outfits that I had for this past game.
Nice. So they
Nice.
make you they don't make you wear suits, or do they when you're not playing?
So you had to wear suits on away games. Home games, you can pretty much wear whatever. Um, but yeah, Bill's very, very like particular, like suits, nice shoes, collar. He's very, very serious about that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad
It's
reason
not.
to
It's not a bad look. It's not a bad look, actually.
not a bad look, you know, and those are clothes you can sort of put to use outside of the games too. So, you know, he's just helping you load up your closet basically.
Yeah, basically.
No, for sure. And on the flip side of that, what's the most recent thing that you've sold?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. And you guys got me with that one. I'm stuck. Yeah, I don't
You're
have it. I don't. I can't tell you that I sell anything right now.
It's all right. That it tells us a lot about you that you know, you treasure your possessions. And speaking of which, what is your most prized possession?
My most prized possession right now, I'll probably say my Super Bowl ring.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
hard to
yeah,
compete with that one.
yeah. That I mean, it's not just the season. It's everything that led up to that moment, right?
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Fun fact. So my Super Bowls were going for like crazy expensive tickets, like, and I was able to get all my family there. So I spent 6 figures on tickets, let alone for the Super Bowl. And after the game, I ran into the stands and crawled, like crawled up the stands to hug my mom, and all my 50 family members are all there, and it like those are moments you'll never get back. Let alone to go to the Super Bowl and let alone to win it that's what I dreamed up as a kid. It's so hard to get there back, and I think I'm very, very blessed, to experience that.
That's so cool that your whole tribe got to experience that with you
Yes.
too.
But also
Um,
kudos to you for making that happen. It takes a lot to realize, who helped to get you there and to want to share that
Yes.
moment with them. So I want to give you a shout out for making that happen for the fam.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that, man. Can't forget the day ones.
Absolutely, I love that. If you could buy anything in the world, digital, physical service or experience that's currently for sale, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a good one. Honestly, I would buy an island. I would buy an island off of probably like off by Hawaii, like a small little island, and I would just build on it, and I would just build like a good little town, and that's it.
Nice. With like I'm envisioning this giant esports stadium in the middle of the town.
Oh, big esports, very very animated, everything Web3, NFT, everything you guys need them to be there.
You know, I'm kind of also envisioning like back when like it was COVID times and UFC was like, you know what, we're gonna go get our own island and just do everything anyway. But like
Yeah,
esports and everything you got going, right?
yeah, exactly. That's what it would be like.
I want to go.
Yeah, sign me up. If you could pass on one of your personality traits to the next generation, what would it be?
Oh, definitely my spontaneousness. I'm very spontaneous, and when I say that, or to do even my creativeness, like super creative. I would just say I had to say two traits. So being very spontaneous and is my creativeness. How I think.
I like that. I'll actually want to lean into spontaneity again because I don't think we've heard that before. What about being spontaneous do you think is important for the next generation?
I think a lot of times I feel like you just gotta enjoy life to the fullest, and being able to, if you're in a way to making a decision whether you should do it, yes or no. Like I think if you thought about even doing it, you might as well just go ahead and just do it. And everything after that just comes back. And you obviously, you look at the pros and cons, but I think a lot of times, like for my situation, like I had like a 4-day weekend, and I was like, I'm gonna just go see the soccer game, Champions League, Liverpool versus Real Madrid, and I just went, and dude,
I'm
the
jealous. Oh my
best
gosh.
time of my
Tell me
life,
about it.
the
Oh, that's on my
best time,
bucket
bro.
list.
And it was so cool, bro. Like I got to experience like seeing Vinny and like soccer overseas was just unreal. It's so funny. So this week I'm going to Milan to go watch AC Roma versus AC Milan
That'll be
in
fun.
match, which is gonna be really cool. So
I
I think putting yourself out there more.
I
Yeah.
love that. Yeah, so I asked ChatGPT what is one word for the combination of spontaneity and creativity because I was trying to figure it out, and
Yeah.
it said serendipity. So I would say
Serendipity.
like serendipitous, I guess, is a good sort of adjective to describe your style. So thanks ChatGPT for the help there.
My serendipitous, basically. Yeah, I'll pass that on to the next generation for sure.
Awesome. Well, on the flip side of it, if you could eliminate one of your personality traits for the next generation, what would it be?
Dude. I don't have one. I mean, well, give me an example. Like, what would you guys do?
I think I sometimes I care too much about
Okay,
the outcome and not the journey. I'd say
okay,
that's
okay,
that
okay.
Yeah.
That's
And
actually, man, that's actually a
and
good one.
and for me, I think I said impatience. Sometimes I can get, a little too impatient, and sometimes I just need to let time and things develop a little bit more before I try to act.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so I'll say for me, I would say procrastinating. I like to. I feel like I procrastinate because I'm in the crunch time. I feel like I can just get it done, but if I do actually do it from the start, like from like the earlier of the week, then it'll be way better than me doing it in 2 hours. So yeah, for sure, procrastinating as a trait.
yeah. It's a common one. We all deal with that one. I appreciate where you're
Yeah,
coming from. So Juju, what did you do just before joining us on the podcast?
just right now, like right before I got.
Yeah,
So
last
I
few
was
hours.
eating. Okay, so I was eating breakfast.
Nice. What do we got there? You got some OJ and what else?
Yeah, so I got some OJ, and then I had some eggs, some bacon, and I had some little toast bread.
Nice.
Right before I got on, so I'm full, I'm happy, I'm feeling good. So yeah,
There you go. And what are you gonna do next after the podcast?
Oh, so after the podcast, all my family's here from the east or from the west coast, and it snowed like I'll probably say like 10 inches of snow. So we're gonna go outside and have a snowball fight.
Oh man, I love that. So
Yeah,
you're in New England right now?
yeah, I'm in Boston.
Oh, cool. So my mom still lives in Boston. She's on the North Shore in Peabody, Mass. So
Oh, really?
yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
you gotta ask her about the snow. It was crazy. I don't know if it snowed up there, but like it's like it's a good like 10 inches of snow, man. Like crazy.
I'll check in with her. She did not mention that. She was asking me for like good movies on Netflix. Now I guess I know why.
Got nowhere to go. Well, we actually we always like to finish with a couple of fun bonus questions. Well, a bonus question, but special guests, we get two.
Yeah.
Josh, I'm gonna let you ask one of them, but I want to ask this first one because I'm very curious because I'm an anime fan myself. What is your favorite anime of all time?
Oh, dude, you did not just ask me that question. One anime of all time. I gotta go with Naruto, bro.
Fair enough. That's my number
yes.
two, man. Like I'm a hardcore Dragon Ball Z guy. But
Yes.
Naruto is my is my number two.
I love that. I love that, bro. Because growing up, I watched Dragon Ball Z with my dad, and that's kind of how we first built our connection. And then when I finally got into Naruto, and Naruto was one of those things like, hey, all my coaches like, you should watch it. And I'm like, it's kind of too long. Then I started watching it. I fell in love with that character and like his character building of his background and everyone's storytelling. Each character has great storytelling on who they are, why they are, and for sure, the best.
Yeah, my best man / best friend also is a hardcore Naruto guy. So like, I'm gonna share this with him. He's gonna be like, yes.
Yeah, it's the best, man. Oh.
Henry, we haven't asked you that question. You want to jump in, man? Do you have something on the top of your head for that answer?
Actually, honestly, same answer. I really love Naruto. Just something about the character. I mean, I grew up on Dragon Ball Z as well, but something about Naruto's character, the fact that he's that true underdog. Also, the way they reveal the backstories, like Hitachi or something like that. Like it's like they set you one direction and then they like set you up to have this whole emotional payoff, and it's really good. I also love Avatar: Last Airbender, to be honest. I know it's not like it's kind of Western anime or whatever, but it is
one of the beginnings though.
Oh, dude, yeah, that's like a gateway drug for anime almost. And but so definitely Naruto. I saw Jenny's asking about Boruto. I gotta tell you a funny story about Boruto. Is I haven't seen it yet, and I might not anytime soon because I was in an Uber once with this dude, and we started talking about anime, and then he starts talking about Boruto and like tells the whole story, like spoils the whole thing, right? For like 30 minutes, like tells the whole story. He's like, oh, I don't know why, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just sitting there. It's kind of like a train wreck where it's like he started and then I just, for some reason, didn't stop him. And then after he spoiled the entire story for me, I'm super quiet. And then he pauses. He goes, oh, you haven't seen it yet, have you? And I was like, no.
Dude, that's the worst.
That's the worst. That's why with Jujutsu Kaisen, I had to catch up on season 2 because I was like, dude, this thing is so hot. I'm like ducking social media posts. Like I'll see something on Instagram and I gotta scroll past real quick because I'm not trying to get it spoiled,
that type of person in your life all the time, that could create some bad juju, you know what I mean? Like that's
we
rough.
got the good juju on our side, we got to keep the bad juju out.
I'm just thinking like if I'm fortunate I don't have like a spoiler in my life because that's no fun. You gotta actually have a chance to enjoy these things on your own,
Yeah, so in my household, like everyone watches anime. So when we hop on Discord and like one person brings up something like whoa, like you have to stay up to date or else you're left behind or it will get spoiled because people are just like that. They just want to ruin your day. So definitely gotta stay on top of it.
It's funny.
Absolutely. Well, we'll just end there just for the sake of time on that segment. And we got one more segment, gents, before we let you guys go and carry on with the snowball fight. I would want to be on your team for sure. But we have this segment called Hot Topics, and we just want to cover some of the latest things going on in the industry. All right, so this one seems very apropos for the conversation today. The blockchain gaming industry to exceed over $600 billion of value by 2030. Let's go. So basically, this is an article from Fortune Business Insights revealed in a comprehensive report. The current value is $154.46 billion in 2023. So we're talking about a 4x increase, annual growth rate of nearly 22%. The report identifies the demand for enhanced gaming experiences, the rise of decentralized gaming as key drivers. Major topic of conversation today. The integration of NFTs and cryptocurrencies introduces ownership and value, reshaping the gaming landscape. While the regulatory frameworks pose some challenges, the industry's global expansion is anticipated, particularly in Europe and Asia Pacific. Obviously, we know about sort of the deep gaming roots in the Asia Pacific region. So any thoughts on this topic, guys?
I mean, other than I'm looking forward to Web3 gaming growing, that's exciting. I think being early right now doing these things is really important so that we could be in the right position for the future, you know?
Yeah, I just pick it off of Henry. I think that helps us, towards what we're moving towards. I mean, those are some crazy numbers. And you said 2020 or 2030, you said?
Yeah, so that's like what, six years from now, right?
Yeah, it's like 6 years from now. And dude, time doesn't stop for anybody, and it's gonna be like this before you know it. So I mean, the fact that we're talking about this, we're working ahead towards that, it's gonna help us a lot in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I just see where gaming in general, just gaming in general, is becoming one of the largest growth opportunities for any industry out there because all of our generation basically have grown up playing games, like whether it's been like the first Ataris that come out to PlayStation to like now we're at PS5 to now, we have VR and everything else. And like the next generations that are coming in are coming out the gates knowing how to play games. So like it's only going to continue to get bigger and bigger as more people are getting more involved in this space. And so, I know they're saying like a 4x from here, but like I think it could be even bigger. I think people are kind of underestimating like how large the gaming industry truly is
It,
going to be.
it's truly large, man. Like my siblings, they're not playing PS5 anymore. They're not playing Xbox. They're going straight to PCs. They're going straight to computer at the age of 7, 8 years old and playing mouse and keyboard, like it. And that's the fastest way to when you dominate in games. Like kids who are on mouse and keyboards are so much far in advance than kids on the controller. Just the response rate is just faster. Now you see nowadays like kids are getting scholarships for gaming, and kids are going to start getting scholarships for coding at a young age. And when you get into that realm of later down the line, like they're going to be so more far in advance. And Richard, what you're saying, like with gaming, it's everyone can relate to it in somehow, some way, and it's all ages, and it's so easy access. When you have it at your home base, when you have it in a comfortable room at your leisure, it's crazy.
Guys, I can't thank you both enough for making the time to hang and catch us up on everything going on in the OnlyFirst world. Super excited to keep track of everything and about what you guys have already done together and what's to come. Where can our listeners go to keep tabs on what you're up to in the space? Juju, what's your Twitter?
Twitter is just Juju Smith-Schuster. Every other handle is just at Juju.
There you go. And Henry, if people want to dive deeper into OnlyForce, where should they go?
Muted. Yeah, it's the same. OnlyForce, just at OnlyForce. I think, by the way, your Twitter is actually Team Juju, by the way.
Oh, yeah, it's Team Juju. Sorry about that.
Yeah. But you can type in his name. Obviously, they'll find him. But yeah, no. So you can follow us at OniForce or Starlordy FTW for me. Definitely, we're going to be making a lot more announcements soon. So stay tuned. Especially with Juju, we've got really big things planned, and we're really excited for it. So very, very appreciative for having us on.
It's our pleasure. So we have reached the outer limit at the edge of NFT for today. Thanks for exploring with us. We've got space for more adventures on the Starship, so invite your friends or recruit some cool strangers. They'll make this journey all so much better. How? Go to Spotify or iTunes right now, rate us and say something awesome. Then go to edgeofnft.com to dive further down the rabbit hole. Subscribe to our newsletter for the latest shows, contests, and more Web3 updates. Look us up on all major socials by typing at Edge of NFT with no spaces and start a fun conversation with us online. Lastly, be sure to tune in next time for more great NFT content. Thanks again for sharing this time with us today.
The views and opinions expressed on Edge of NFT reflect solely those views and opinions of the show hosts and its guests. Please make sure to do your own research. Our show is not financial advice. You understand that you are using any and all information available on or through this podcast at your own risk. Whenever making financial decisions, we recommend doing your own research and talking to your accountant for financial advice. From time to time, we may feature sponsored content on the show for which we receive value, and we may share links for which we receive a commission if you make a purchase through one of those links. Refer to our website, www.edgeofnft.com, for our full disclaimer, terms and conditions, and privacy policy.